Hello everybody. Now, as promised, today I'll show you how to export and import projects from an old version of ALM to a new version of ALM. Now, there are many ways you can actually do this. This is by far the simplest, but it only works when you're working with a few projects at a time. In most cases, in most enterprise environments, usually we work with almost 100, if not hundreds of projects. And for that, there are better methods, there are better approaches. But I will show you this simple one, this simple version of it, because it does encompass one of the key ways to properly import and upgrade a project to a new version. So I have this, one of our lab machines was installed with ALM 17.0.1. And one of the projects that we installed on it was the demo project you can download from the ALM marketplace. This project is a public one, and it's great if you want to have a feel of whether or not your project ALM installation, what it would look like if it had something if it had some meat and bones. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you how to export that project here. And on my new machine, I had already downloaded that same file to it. So I won't have to worry about transporting the files from one place to another. So I'll show you how to export it on this machine, and I'll show you how to import it on the other machine, though it's not going to be the same files exactly. It's just that I downloaded it from a different source. Okay. So to do this, first thing you'll do is you'll log into your admin console. So I'm on my old machine. Again, as you can see, I put a little notepad for visibility here. I'm going to log in as the administrator. And I have a demo project here. That is the same demo project I was talking about. Now, by default, not by default, I should say rather normally, what you would see is not a indicator like this next to the project, but more like a green check mark to indicate that this project is currently live and active. People, when you have a green check mark like this, it means the project is active. It means people can go to it. They can modify files. They can do all kinds of jazz. That is how normally a project that people are working on is going to look like within the administrator console. Now, when you want to do an export or a backup or any kind of shenanigans, it's always best to deactivate the project to make sure no one is working on it. Obviously, there's a whole bunch of reasons that I could get into for a very long time. I'm not going to get into it, but whenever you're going to be doing a backup of a project and you're migrating it to another environment, you want to stop whatever people are doing so they don't continue working on the old one. And besides, even if you wanted to export a project that is currently active, the system won't let you do it. So we're going to right-click on the project in question we want to export, and we're going to deactivate it. It's going to tell us that if we do this, anybody who's currently connected to the project in ALM is going to get kicked out. Yes, let's do that. And now I'm going to right click on it again. I'm going to go to export project here. I will choose a location where I want that project file to be located so I can know where it is. I can transport it to the other computer. Again, in this case, I'm not actually going to be doing this, but let's call it demo project backup. I'm going to save it on my desktop. Now this is going to be exported. Usually it takes a couple of minutes, or maybe at least a minute. It depends really on the size of your project, on how many repo files you have and all that jazz. But interestingly enough, if you recently did it like I have done here, it will feel almost instantaneous, but it is working. Imagine cache files. I don't know exactly why, but it manages to know what we've already done, and it's picking up on that. So we're going to click OK here, and if I were to go onto my desktop, I will have a QCP file, which is Quality Center project that I can use and import in another environment or in another ALM instance. So we're going to do just that. I'm going to go to my connection center and go to my new ALM server here, and I'm going to import that project. Again, I didn't copy that file from the old machine to the new one. I'm just using a file that I've already downloaded from the internet. It's literally the same thing. It's the same demo project. So I'm going to right click here and I'm going to import project. I'm going to right click on default, the domain where I want this project to be. And I'm going to click on import project. And from here, I will go and find that specific folder or location where my quality center projects, my ALM projects are located. So just for the sake of clarity, it's on my desktop, right? I've downloaded the ALM demo project. It's for version 17.0. This is the new install of ALM. It's version 24.1. That's important to know. We're going from an old environment, we're going to the new environment. So we're going to select the ALM Demo 17 QCP. It is literally the same thing I just backed up on the other machine. It's the one same demo that we had installed there as well. I'm going to click open, click next. I will give it a name. I'm going to call it demo project. Oh, right, forgot to say that whenever you're naming a project, it needs to have no spaces. So I'm going to call it demo project. I'm going to click next. By default, it will point towards the database where everything is currently configured for your database usage. I'm going to click next. And after this, it's going to try to activate the project. It's not going to work because that is a ALM project that's from version 17 and we're on 24.1. I'm going to keep it selected, but you'll see that once it's done doing the importation, it will keep it deactivated simply because it's not compatible at this point. So it doesn't take too much time. We're going to wait a couple of moments. We're going to start to see a lot of activity at the bottom here. And once that will be completed, you're going to now see the project as it used to appear. On the old environment, it will be in our projects here. Okay, so now we have the project in there. Great. You can see that all the old users that were assigned to that project are there. Their roles, they're remembered, everything. But you can't do anything with it. As you can see, even if we asked it to be activated, it's not active. And the reason is pretty simple. If I try to activate it, it will tell us this project must be upgraded before you can use it because it came from an old environment. It was built under the old environment. The new environment, the new version of ALM needs to have this upgraded. I could not even add myself if I wanted to it. It's not compatible. So that's actually pretty easy to do, but I would like to show you the way that we like to do things. Again, we've done thousands of project migrations. We've seen every flavor under the sun of issues that could happen, from corrupted projects to projects that just didn't transfer properly. There's so many reasons why things like these can happen. Projects that date more than a decade sometimes, they come with a myriad of things under their skin. So what we do is whenever we import a project, any project whatsoever, we actually do three things. So we right click on the project that needs to be upgraded, and we will go to maintenance to maintain project. And we're going to start with a verify. Now this is by the way, you will have to click on the bottom left button to say we are verifying this project. Always best to do this when the project is deactivated, though you could do it when it's active. I don't suggest you do. So this is just a quick check to see if there's anything wonky with the file. I don't expect anything to come up because this is literally a brand new project, but it will tell us a couple of basic things such as what is the version of it. And it's, like I said, it's looking for problems. It's not going to try to repair them. It's just trying to look for potential issues, and it would give us a quick report at the end whether or not there's something that needs to be fixed. And if there needs to be something fixed, what we would do, but not in this case, obviously, everything is fine. We don't have any problems, no problems found. We love that message. I'm going to close this, and I'm going to go back to the demo project. And even if there were no issues that were detected, I'm still going to do a repair. Okay? Imagine this being the super verify version of it. Now, I don't know why, but in the past, I've seen verifies that were in the green, but the repair function still did something. So this is a complex tool. It's an industrial grade tool. Some of the secrets under the hood, I don't know. All I know is A while back, we just started to do verifies to give us an idea of things were going to be problematic. And then we still do a repair regardless, just to be sure that whenever we're going to be doing an upgrade, we're not going to run into any issues. If you do run into issues, there's a whole bunch of things that could be the reason why. But in many cases, the repair tool tends to take care of it in most cases that we've seen. When it doesn't, then you either contact a specialist like us. We'll try to see if there's anything that can be done, or we can also assist you with opening a ticket with the vendor. Sometimes they can do something as well on their side, but there's always that possibility that certain things get lost in the mix. So that's very rare. I don't think I've seen it more than a handful of times in all the years that I've worked doing this. Nonetheless, just saying it's a possibility, so I'm going to close. And now we are ready to do the actual upgrade. So I'm going back to right-clicking on the project, maintenance, and upgrade project. Now this step takes a little bit more time than either verify or repair combined. And obviously, it's going to take even more time if your project is big. You know, the bigger the project, the more time it takes to upgrade all of this. So, you know, speaking of risks of corruption and all that stuff, that's one of the reasons why it's always best to split your projects within a reasonable amount of subcategories. People who have that one project that has, you know, 500,000 entries in there, that's kind of like putting all your eggs in one basket. It's complicated for everybody. It overburdens the system, blah, blah, blah. You know, load balancing basically is what you want to look into. So we're well, probably not the exact right terms, but it's definitely something that should, you know, ring a bell in terms of how you want to split your load of work and projects and files and all that jazz. All right, so like I said, this is going to take a couple of moments. Even if it's a small project, it is doing a lot of stuff. Even after it's done merging, we're still going to see a lot of activity being done. Even though you're seeing step 17 from 31, I believe there's almost another minute of task being done. The fixed integrity takes a little bit of time as well. All right, so let's wait a little bit. We should see things being completed pretty soon, at least I hope so. 27 of 31. Your project is going to be upgraded to version 18. Maybe that's going to be changed in a later version, but for now, projects that are for version 24.1 appear as version 18. So we're done with that project. It's currently upgraded. It's ready to go. We didn't have any problems or any errors. So I'm going to activate that project. I'm going to add myself to it, and I will put myself as a site project administrator for the heck of it. And now I'm going to log in as a user so I can take a quick look and see if my project properly imported. So here we go. We're logging as a normal user. I'm going to enter my password here. Now, if I hadn't assigned myself this project, I would not be able to see anything here. Even more so if I had zero project whatsoever, meaning I would not be able to go and take a look at it. So always make sure, if you are not previously part of that project and you want to inspect it, add yourself to the project. It's a common mistake for people who do migrations and upgrades and want to take a quick look at things. All right, so let's take a quick look at the analysis view. Nothing much here, but we can see, however, that we have files. If I go to testing, for example, and I go to my test runs, I have a whole bunch of demo test runs that were ran on my fake project, my demo project. So everything seems to be in the clear, in the green. If I wanted to do a full check, I would go from A to Z, look at every section, do some updates, upgrades, all kinds of stuff, just to make sure that everything is working. But this project is now upgraded for the latest and greatest version of ALM 24.1. So I hope that was a lesson for you. Keep in mind, there are many different ways that you can actually import, export, migrate projects. I'm actually going to make some more videos about that. But the method that we use once you're ready to upgrade a project, I strongly suggest that you always do that. Verify, repair, upgrade in that order every single time. So thank you very much and have a nice day.